Hello, my knitting friends and buddies. My name is Nadia. I'm the face behind the LemonKnitting channel where we discuss all things knitting. Welcome to the second episode of LemonKnitting podcast. I'm very sorry to say that it's gonna be a very long episode. I've been rambling like crazy, so it's gonna be long, but I'm talking about all the makes that I finished, all the works in progress, and also a lot about media and books I've been consuming lately. So it's a bit of more like mix between my knitting podcast and also like life podcast in a way. Just like to share with you whatever fun stuff I have found during the months we haven't had a talk with you. So so grab a beverage of your choice and let's get into it. Okay, we'll have to start with the elephant in the room. The first finished object is the Fisherman's rib sweater that I'm wearing. It is by Friday Knits, and I was lucky enough to be Phoebe's test knitter. I've already told you a little bit about the sweater last knitting podcast, but now I'm finally finished with it and I can't be more excited. Let's talk about info on the sweater first. I have knitted it in Filcalana Pernila in colors Thuya and that's a hard one. I don't remember the name of the second one. I will add information obviously, but so the thing is, horizontally I managed to get the gauge perfectly and I was super happy about it. And I thought that I also got the vertical gauge right as well, but the thing about Fisherman's rib is that it is quite unpredictable vertically because you are basically kind of catching up the row on the previous row, so kind of grabbing the yarn from before. So it's like a very, very scrunched up. Because of that, it's very comfy and it looks so cute, but also it makes it a bit hard to understand how the yarn will behave when the garment will have some weight to it, because like the weight, obviously physics, it kind of stretches out everything. So when I made the gauge swatch, I thought I was very much doing all right with my gauge. Turned out that vertically my gauge was like way off. What it meant for me is that basically my rows look like much smaller, so I had to knit a lot and a lot. So I have more rows than Phoebe has in her original sample. I think it still looks cute, but because of that I also had troubles predicting how much the sweater will grow after blocking, but I think it actually turned out all right. It did take me a lot of time, and you can see that the stripes are much thinner than on other test knitter samples, but I think it looks hella cute. And I don't like to be like, ooh, this is my new favorite garment, because you know I like them all equally. I hate when people do this, like, who do you like more, your mom or your dad? No, I like all my garments. I am lying about it. I like most of the garments I made. And this is definitely like in the top. I love how squishy it is because of Fisherman's rib. It's super squishy. Because of that, it gives this super cozy feeling. And I ain't gonna lie, ever since I finished the sweater, I have worn it every single day. I wear it at home, I wear it when I go out, I wear it when I film. I already made a video wearing it, the Department Q Netflix and Chill episode. So I am absolutely obsessed with this sweater. It is just like perfect. It fits me like a glove. It's the yarn choice, even though the gauge was off, it feels very nice. I know that some people don't like wool when it's scratchy, so many people in the test group opted for more merino based yarns, and I totally get it. But recently I found out that I'm weird, and actually I prefer scratchy yarns for the garments. I don't know how that happened, but now every time I knit with merino or something like glidey, I'm getting a sensory overload, and I don't like it. But with like scratchy wools, I love to knit with it. It feels good on my fingers, and somehow it feels very nice to wear it. I actually assume that I will hate it because, well, there's a lot of people saying they hate it, and I'm like, one of the biggest part of my ADHD is sensory overload over everything. So usually it's very easy for a thing to be irritating when it touches my skin. But no, this is an exception, and it's weird. It's a good weird, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm very happy that I like how my garment feels and I can wear it. But I'm very surprised to learn that. So I guess the more you know. So now I am obsessed with scratchy yarns. So the next big sweater I'm gonna make is gonna be in Aran Tweed by Isea. So, and it's like as scratchy as they get, and I'm very happy about it because I want this rough texture. I don't know why. I'm weird, but I'm a happy kind of weird. A little bit more about the sweater. It is a top-down construction. You start with a double knit button band, then you continue your raglan creases, and then you work the body and the sleeves. It's very well described. Honestly, I'm a big fan of Phoebe now. I am so grateful I got into this test knit because she's such an amazing person, and also she's a gamer girl, which is gaming knitters need to be friends. We need other people who lose games because they still need to like do 2 more stitches before moving from the base when they respawn. So it's so much fun to work with her, and the op script, I forgot the English word for it. The pattern itself is amazing. It's super easy to understand. The only difficulty you will have with following the pattern is not about the pattern itself. It's about Fisherman's rib and fixing mistakes while you're doing Fisherman's rib. The Fisherman's rib itself is not a hard thing once you have already got your knits and purls and making ribbons, right? So, but what is hard is fixing any dropped stitches or maybe little mistakes where you forgot which row you were supposed to take the yarn from. And I still consider myself like beginner-ish, maybe advanced beginner knitter. It was hell to fix, so I mostly ignored a lot of mistakes that I made, and I'm not very happy about it. But the only time, I think I already told you this in one of the previous videos, the only time I tried to fix a mistake in the sweater, it became much worse. So now I'm not even trying anymore. I'm just like, you know what? It's the beauty of a handmade thing. As long as it's not too visible, I don't give a hell. I don't give a hell anymore. I'm honest with you. It does take you a lot of time to knit the sweater because of the Fisherman's rib. The whole 2 rows look like one thing that kind of comes with the Fisherman's rib means that you're gonna spend a lot of time. So it's definitely a time commitment. I usually finish sweaters in less than a month, and this one took me a month and a half, which is like compared quite more time than usual. But I must say this is so worth it. I am already thinking about the fact that I need to make another one because I feel like I'm gonna destroy it quicker than I will get enough of it, because oh my god, it's so comfy. It is hilariously comfy. It's just like, I'm an absolute love, and I am very happy with the length of sleeves. You might think they're short, and they are, because I hate when sweaters have the full length and come up to here. I have very sensitive area here, and if the sweater touches my wrist here, I go nuts. So usually I do this with everything I wear, and that destroys the ribbing, obviously, because if you kind of stretch it out, it stretches out. You will not believe that. So I made the sleeves a bit shorter than normal, and it's such a perfect length for me. You have no idea. I don't need to curl it up or anything, and if you don't stop me, I will probably talk like 15 hours about how much I love this sweater. And this means that I'm very happy about it. And I'm so happy that I'm done with it, because I couldn't wait for it to wear. I chose the colors for it to look like something like pumpkin patch. So it had to be an autumn sweater. And I was so worried that I won't finish it in autumn, because I'm very much a season-driven person, you know. So for me, once 1st of November hits, it's Christmas season. I don't care about autumn anymore, unfortunately. But you know what? I just thought that it can actually look very Christmassy if I add some accessories to it. So I think I'm gonna be good with wearing it during Christmas. So that's the Fisherman's Rib sweater. The pattern is coming very soon. So definitely follow Friday Knits on Instagram, so that you know when she releases the pattern, because it's gonna be amazing. Moving on to the second finished object, or should I say objects, because I am extremely proud of myself. I actually finished a pair of socks. What I am proud of is that usually if it's not a gift knit, once I'm done with one sock, the second one is never going to be made. So I just unravel the first one, and I hate myself for it. And I know that a lot of people recommend like knitting both socks at the same time, like having both of them on the wire with 2 separate balls. But every time I remember that this was actually an option, I'm already somewhere in the middle of the first sock, so it's a bit late for that. So once I finished this sock, it actually took me like very short time. I think I finished the first one in like 5 days. I was so happy that I was done. Then I remembered I had a second one to do. The second one took me like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. I don't know. It took me a long time. I did a very smart thing. I casted it on the moment I finished this one, because if I didn't, it would never get done. It's made out of Malabrigo sock yarn in color Diane, and the pattern is Cozy Autumn Socks by This Handmade Life. It's a free pattern. It's a very cute sock. I will add some pictures probably somewhere here, but it's super cute. It has this like lace leaves like pattern in front. The problem is I don't really like the finished sock. It's not the pattern problem or the yarn problem like as it is, but in the skein this yarn looked much more bright and autumnal. But when I made the garment itself, first of all, I knew that the pattern won't be as visible with the color changing yarn. Obviously it hides the texture a little bit, but I kind of thought it's gonna change the colors not as frequently, you know. I kind of expected like that there will be like stripes of red or something, but no, it's like super color changing, so it's very chaotic. But I wouldn't mind it as much if the colors were a bit more bright, but since they're more like muted greens, reds, purples and oranges, I don't know, it just like, it feels like, it does still feel like autumnal leaves, but also it feels like leaves that have been on the ground for quite a long time, you know, like they are already quite stale. So the good thing is they fit perfectly, and I think it's the first project in my life where I haven't made a single mistake. I guess that's growth because I've been knitting for 11 months now. So I guess this is the point I've been knitting for. I haven't made a single mistake. So I'm very proud of myself and I'm very happy to wear them. They feel great on my feet. So because I don't like how they look that much, I won't wear them outside, but they are quickly becoming my have to have them on my feet while I'm sitting at home and watching TV socks. Because it's getting chilly here and my husband and I don't use the heating because we are cheap bastards. So these are the perfect addition to the chilly evenings, and I'm glad I made them, and I'm extremely glad I finished them. I'm proud of myself, and they're gonna be my in-home staple. Okay, moving on to the works in progress. I actually have a lot works in progress. I know I told you that I only do 2 projects at a time. I lied. Apparently now I work on 3 projects at a time because I'm going through some kind of knitting slump, and I also haven't been feeling too good lately. My depression has been kicking in a little bit once the weather became rainy and gray, which is gonna be like that for at least 8 months here because that's winter / autumn in Denmark for you. But vitamin D is gonna save us all. So in order to kind of lift my spirit up, I added a 3rd project to my web pile so that I can kind of make it fun for me again. So I'm gonna start with the newest project, and it's the pumpkin mittens, whimsical pumpkin mittens, I think the pattern is called. It's a free pattern by oh my god, I don't remember the name of the designer because the designer is actually my friend on TikTok, and I remember her TikTok handle, but I don't remember the actual name on Ravelry that she uses, so I just like added here. And it was based on Sweet Moon mittens. It was also a free mittens pattern, but she made the modifications to make it into a pumpkin so that it looks more autumnal. When I saw her make it on TikTok, I fell in love immediately, and the next day I went and bought yarn to do it in the exact same way she did. So I finished the first mitten in 2 days. My hands were cramping, I was suffering, it was painful, but it looks so cute. I haven't weaved in any of the ends, obviously, but the problem is I am a very tight knitter, and I did not think that can affect my knitting that much, because I was actively trying not to be as tight with color work as I normally do, because it's something that you wear on your hands and everything. So I was trying to give it enough space for the floats to flow. Well, let's just say the moment I sent it to blocking, I had to try to put it on my hand in the water because it was the only way to stretch it out enough for my hand to actually fit. And well, it's not to the point of like blue fingers or anything, but they are tight. They are very tight on me. Let me try to put it on. As you can see, I overdid the tightening a little bit. I'm so sad because it's such a gorgeous pattern and it looks so cute, right? Like the whole there's a pumpkin in front with a few like little stars, I guess, and the inner part is this like checkered pattern, and it looks so cute. I love it, and they're so warm, but I can't feel my hands when I'm with you, but I love it. But yeah, it is tight. So I decided that since I already tried to do color work in the more spacious way and I failed, instead of reknitting it, I decided that the second one I will do without any color work. So it's gonna be just like orange ribbing and green body, because I want to have at least one glove that will fit me like a glove. But I'm definitely gonna still wear it, even though it does hurt a little bit. But I will wear it because it's so pretty. I just can't. And it fits the sweater perfectly. What is this combo? It's crazy. I love it. Okay, the second work in progress is Augustine's number 21 by lemonknitdk. I think her designer name on Ravelry is Sophie Biling, if I'm not wrong. Well, you know where to find all the information already. And it's this gorgeous dress that I'm making. I actually sped through the body very quickly. Like the body and sleeves were all done in like a week and maybe a few days, and has this gorgeous lace details on the sleeves, and I absolutely love it. The problem is that now I'm knitting the body, so like the skirt of the dress. And since it's a puff skirt, it is a lot of stitches. So every round takes me like from 30 to 40 minutes probably. So it's gonna take me a long time. I'm not discouraged, but it does take me a long time. I'm using Drops Air in electric blue color. Together with Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk in, let me remember the color, I don't remember it, cobalt blue, something like that. Well, as usual, info here. And I love the color, first of all. I love the texture. It's super soft and fluffy, and it's a nice kind of soft, so like, as I told you, merino kind of gives me the ick because it's too soft. This one is soft but has texture. So I absolutely love it and I can't wait to finish it. Hopefully I will finish it in about like, you know what, I don't want to give myself a deadline because I'm already a little bit burned out. So let's just say that I am working on it. The last work in progress is actually a design I'm making and still drafting. I know I said in the last knitting podcast I was gonna work on like a cappuccino based sweater. Forget that. I got inspired by matcha and by yarn I had in my stash. So I started working on something you would probably call a shrug or bolero or something like that. I called it a creamy matcha crop, and the whole idea of this garment will be that I love to wear my t-shirts, and they usually are graphic t-shirts, so they have like different prints. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's pretty, and when you wear a sweater on top of it, nobody can see the t-shirt you're wearing, right? So I very much want something that will be A, warm, so I can actually use it during autumn. B, did highlight my t-shirt, and C, was soft and comfy. So this is the sketch I made. I know it looks ugly, it was just meant to kind of strategize over it. And since I am a complete beginner in designing, it takes me a long time to make everything, so I'm not far from the starting point, but you're probably gonna suffer through like the mic sounds, but yeah, it has this V cut that's gonna go under the armpits, and then it's gonna have puff sleeves with matcha colors. To knit this garment, I'm using knitting foil of merino held together with Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk. I know it's a little bit like those people who buy like the latest version of iPhone, but then they eat like packed noodles for the rest of the month. So it's a very luxurious yarn held together with a very affordable yarn. It is a bit of a crazy combo, I agree, but it's two of the yarns I really like, so I really like the fabric it makes. So unfortunately, this is something ironic, but also very nice. So yeah, I'm working on this pattern now. I hope that in somewhere in the middle of November I will start the test knit for it, and I think it's gonna be until maybe December, the end of December, and then I will release it somewhere in the new year. So that's very exciting. And I think that's all WIPs I have right now. Yeah. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about were the media I've been consuming lately. I have finished a book and I really wanted to talk to you about. It's called Murder Your Employer, and it's definitely not the book you would like to be asked about when you are on the interview and they ask you like, tell us more about yourself. Like, what was the last book you've ever read? And you're like, can I skip this question? Yeah, this book is actually about murdering your employer. You will not believe it, but it does sound a bit weird and maybe like the detective style. No, it's not. It is basically if Harry Potter went to Hogwarts, but instead of magic, they were teaching him how to murder people. It's a story about this school that specializes in making people professional murderers. Not like serial killers, but people who can murder the particular person they need. Everybody like has this one person they would like murdered, so they go to the school to learn. And it's a very prestigious school, and we are following three students of the school and their stories. We find out what kind of people they want to murder, and all three of them are on the employer track. So all three of them want to murder their employers for one reason or another. And we find out how their studies go and if they will succeed or not in their mission. And it was a very fun read. Like, sometimes it was a bit too slow because there were too many descriptions of stuff without like any action going on, you know. So it was a bit too slow for me in the first half, but the second half was just like pure perfection, and it was a very fun read, and was the first book in a very long time that actually made me go to sleep at like 4 a.m. because I was finishing the book and I couldn't put it down because it was so interesting to see how it ends. So I definitely recommend this book. I think I gave it 4 stars. I'm not sure, but overall, I would definitely recommend it. It's on Libby, so you can borrow it with your library card and read it on your e-reader of choice, or maybe on your phone if you want to. It is fun. I'll tell you that. And also, there were a lot of very witty quotes in it. I loved it. Next, I have finished a few TV shows. First of all, the most important one, Haunted Hotel, is the new animation series on Netflix. It's from the people who brought us Rick and Morty. I would say vibe wise, it's kind of like a mix between Disenchantment and Rick and Morty. I love it. It is an absolute treasure. It's an animation about a haunted hotel. Who would have thought? And a mother with two children who move into this hotel because her brother who owned this hotel died, so they kind of have to look after the hotel from now on. And apparently, everybody who dies on the territory of this hotel, including the brother of our main character, They become ghosts and stay linked to this hotel, so they live on the property of the hotel, causing chaos and a lot of fun moments in the lives of the family. So it's basically a TV show about the family who tries to survive and actually run a haunted hotel. I won't make a lot of spoilers, but I would just say that there is a certain demon character that you will 100% fall in love with, and just this character himself is enough for you to make sure you watch this animation series. It's amazing. It's a 10 out of 10 from me. Love it. On the less loved part of the spectrum, I also watched two series on Netflix that just came out. It was Wayward and Hunting Wives, and I will give them both the same review. Sometimes you might want to focus on making at least one likable character in your TV series so that people have someone to actually empathize with. These two series, don't get me wrong, sometimes they're fun. Wayward more than Hunting Wives. Hunting Wives was a trash, I'm sorry. Wayward was fun. It is perfect for like Halloween atmosphere. It has the creepy school where people, students disappear for some reason and nobody gives a damn about it for some reason. And it also has a very fun main character. He has his trauma because he's a trans kid who grew up to be a police officer. So he has a lot of stuff to navigate in his life, including pregnant wife and finding a kid that ran away from the school that later on does a weird thing. Let's just end it on it. So it is fun, but I've never seen a TV show where there has been zero characters you actually feel good about, or at least sorry about. Like, I swear to God, everybody in this TV series is an asshole. That's just like but still, I would recommend you to watch it. It's not like a very nice TV show, but it's fun for what it is. Like, once you can definitely watch it and have your fun with it. So The Hunting Wives, though, no, it's a no. I'm sorry. The worst thing is like The Hunting Wives has an amazing cast in it. Like, all of the actors were doing such an incredible job, and I loved all of them. The plot, though, I don't think they completely thought what they wanted this series to be through, because like they don't stick to one particular genre. It's messy. It doesn't really have any interesting plot going on. It's basically just smut for no actual reason. Yeah, I was not impressed with this one. Oh, and also I finished the new season of Monster about Ed Gein, and it gets my disapproval, like a large piece of my disapproval. You cannot take real people and no, first let me say that I do understand that when you're making a TV series based on a real story, there will be some fiction you will add for it to be more fun to watch. And I was fine with it in the season about Jeffrey Dahmer. That was fine. I was fine. There was like, it was not very accurate, but it was accurate enough for it to be fun and for both like true crime enjoyers and people who just like want to watch about serial killer. Okay, Ed Gein one, it's just lies. If you for some reason think that you will know anything about Ed Gein after watching this series, no, you won't. It actually drives me mad how many lies there are in this series, because some characters didn't do things that they were like making in this TV series at all. They made some real people into murderers just for the sake of the plot. They completely butchered the character of Ed Gein. I mean, no romanticizing the killer, and he doesn't get any empathy from me. But maybe making him into someone who does weird sexual stuff with corpses was not a great idea, when he literally very much was vocal about him not being interested in sex and in women in particular. So, and what drives me most like crazy about it, the characters of Evelyn and Adeline, they just like use the fact that their families are all dead already, because it's been a long time since the whole situation happened. So there's no one who can sue the director and the writers for defamation, basically, because they just like, we'll just add this thing that she does to move the plot, when in reality it never happened. But now people will think that this particular character was a murderer, or this particular character was murdered by Ed Gein, when they weren't, and they were never found. So their story is not over, but these guys kind of like, we don't care. So yeah, I was extremely pissed, especially by the last episode. I'm sorry, I can rant about it forever. The last episode was redemption arc for Ed Gein, where he kind of tries to make the world better after what he did. And then he's basically succeeding and being happy that he helped. And first of all, never happened. Second of all, this is not even romanticization anymore. They're literally glorifying a serial killer. This is, I'm sorry, not a serial killer. He is not officially a serial killer, but whatever. Why? Like, this is on the other, like, I think it's crossing the border of what is okay to fictionize in your true crime related, let's say this way, story and movie or TV series. This is just like, it's driving me mad, because all I can say is I'm sending the rays of empathy to all the families of victims who might have like grandchildren who watch this TV series and find out that their grandma was a murderer when she wasn't. This is awful, and I'm sorry I've been ranting for so long, but this is awful, and I do not condone this kind of cinema. Ugh. That's it for today's knitting podcast. I'm sorry it's that long. I've been rambling a lot today. I've been feeling chatty. I'm sorry. But next time we're gonna meet in 2 weeks, and it's gonna be a video about everything I've knit in the past year, which is the first year I've ever knitted in my life. So I hope you're gonna like it, and I hope you enjoyed this particular video. I hope to see you next time. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram for some cute pictures of everything I make, and just like some real-time stories about what I'm doing, or my TikTok, where I post goofy knitting related content. Also, that would be great if you subscribed to this channel, so that we don't get separated by the algorithm. So see you next time.